Hello my beautiful bookish friends, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to the first bookish video of 2025. I was going to do an end of the year wrap up, and then I just decided, you know what, it's too long, it's too monotonous, and the days kept coming because January is just like like we're almost halfway through already. How? I don't know. But by the time I was ready to like film it, I was like, no one's gonna care about this. They want to know what's coming, not what has happened. So today I am going to do, I saw Larry Reads do this 2025 start of the year book tag, which I really like because I usually do the end of the year book tag. But the beginning of the year is like the most exciting time if you're a reader, because your reading goals reset, maybe, if you're someone who does that. And there's so many new releases coming out this year that I am actually really jazzed about. So let's talk about what I want to do with my reading in 2025. The first question is, how many books do you want to read? Every year for the last like 3 years, I have put myself at 85. It's a nice pace. I usually exceed it. I was at like 120, I believe, or maybe a little under last year. So this year I want to be like 85. I think is going to be good because I'm trying to slow down my reading so that I'm not so much worried about like finishing a book in a day unless I feel like it's that good that I can't put it down. Not let me speed through this and then not really comprehend it or not really remember it and then not give you guys a comprehensive review. So 85 is my goal right now. I'm reading 3 books right now, which doesn't sound like slowing down, but I promise it is. I'm reading like Most Wonderful Crime of the Year on my Kindle. I'm reading Behind the Net, and then audio, I'm reading a novel love story. So I have something for my drive to work and home. I have something when I'm in bed on my Kindle, and then I have something to physically sit and read whenever. So that's also how I'm going to reach my goal, is I have 3 different formats to focus on. So that is the first thing. The next thing is a book you will likely reread. This year, I really want to reread Finale. This is the only book in the Caraval series, except Spectacular, that's the Christmas one that just came out, that I haven't reread and tabbed. So I would really like to do that this year so that I can read the Once Upon a Heartbreak series. Not that you have to. Really, Once Upon a Heartbreak is a prequel to everything else. However, a lot of what they talk about in that story has to do with this stuff in here. Like this is the result of that. So I want to refresh myself on just some of the terms and some of the, I don't know what you want to call it, like some of the lore of the story. So that is my big reread this year that I want to get to. I also want to reread Hunting Prince Dracula, Escaping Houdini, and Capturing the Devil. Because I started that reread a while ago and tabbing, and I have not finished it. So I would like to do that as well. The next question is, what are your priority reads? So since I am allowing myself to slow down and take a little bit more time with books, that also lends me more space to read longer books and not feel like I'm failing. So I really want to read Phantasma. This is a series. This is a romance series inspired by, someone said it's Danny Phantom, but I think it's more Phantom of the Opera mixed with Danny Phantom. But it is a paranormal romance that is going to be a series. And it plays out like a game, so it's very Caraval, but it's a little bit darker. And I'm just very excited to read this because I love Caraval. That's like one of my favorite series of all time. So if I could get something like that, but like even a little bit more adult, that would be super cool. Enchanta, I believe, is the next book coming out. And that one's like purple. So I'm very excited about that one, but I would love to read this one. And then also, probably my next physical book I pick up will be Lost and Lassoed. This is the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I love this series so much. It's the only Western series I have read thus far, and I really love the characters in this book. I love the storyline. Some people, I guess I found out like the other day, someone hated this series so much, gave it like a 0 out of 10, but then was like in love with all the books from A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I didn't like A Court of Thorns and Roses, so I think we just have very different tastes. But the 4th book is coming out this year, so I want to get caught up before the 4th book comes out. And I think the 4th book is going to be the last one, unless they give us the prequel that I'm hoping for. Next up, we have an author you won't be reading more from. I automatically, every time I hear that question, I'm like, Colleen Hoover. Like, I read It Ends With Us 2 years ago, and I have no desire to pick up any more of her books. However, I feel like Riley Sager may be up there. I do have the only ones left on hold at the library right now, and I still have Lock Every Door in my collection. I feel like I want to give them each a shot before I completely write off his work. However, that does not fit the format of the question. But I will just say he is on the chopping block. I just feel like some of his work is not... When we talk about how my reading tastes have evolved, it'll make more sense. His work does not vibe with my vibe anymore. Also, I can't remember. There was another author that I was like, we just don't mesh. Maybe we just don't mesh. Like, I've tried to read 2 of their books and it just doesn't work. And I can't remember for the life of me who that was. And it's gonna bother me now. So yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll rediscover it as I'm reading. Like, maybe it's something somewhere along these shelves. I don't know. Something new that I have that I'm like looking forward to this year, either like tropes or genres. I think adventure and suspense romance are more in my wheelhouse of things right now, based on what I've been reading or picking up and enjoying. Like, yes, I'm reading a sports romance right now, but like, I really enjoyed Lights Out. I know that's supposed to be like a dark rom-com, but it had a lot, there was some suspense moments in it. Also, I started reading the Ornithologist Guide to Field Guide to Love and Adventure or something like that. It had that really long title, the Ornithologist one. I didn't love that book because there was too much technical terminology in it, but I liked the adventure aspect of it. So I have a couple adventure romances that I picked up last year that I haven't gotten to yet. So we'll see how I feel about those. Everything else though, there's nothing else that's really like exciting to me right now. So I think those are the 2 things I'm looking forward to. Next question is a popular book you want to read. I want to read King of Pride. I want to read all of Hannah Wong's King of Sins books. King of Envy is coming out soon. I still have to read this one. I have to read Greed, and I also have Sloth up there. So I definitely want to get caught up on this series. I have only read Twisted Love, so I guess I would put her Twisted series in there as well, because I know there's a little bit of crossover. Like, I know Alex from Twisted Love shows up in like every book. Like, he just kind of pops his head in. I think he popped up in King of Wrath really quickly, but there was also other characters that showed up in King of Wrath that are in Twisted Lies. So I am interested to read those and see just how much crossover there is. But it is cool knowing that everything is functioning in this like world that she's created. So yeah, I would say any of Anna Huang stuff I'm interested in right now. Most anticipated releases right now are Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. This is going to be her sports romance. It's a diver swimmer romance. And then also Caught Up, which is the 2nd book in the Lights Out series. I don't know if it's the same couple again or if it's going to be different people. I did see the mask is different on the cover, so maybe it's someone else in it. I'm not sure who that would be necessarily, unless it's like his roommate, but I don't know how that would work. So I don't know if maybe it's just a different like story. Next one is a bookish goal you have. My biggest goal for every year going forward now is to read more physical books and ebooks now that I have a Kindle, versus audiobooks. I do use audiobooks to help get through my physical TBR, with stuff from the library, because the time does not exist for me to read all of these as quickly as I want to. And also it's just nice to have a book always going for me, so I can make more videos, obviously. But I want to try and read more physical stuff. That's why I'm putting it at 85 this year and trying to slow down the reading a little bit, even with the audiobooks, slowing down the pace of which I'm reading them. They're still on 2 times the speed, but I'm not listening to them at all hours of the day, so then I'm missing big parts because I'm not fully focused. It's more so just when I'm driving, because I can listen to that and just focus on driving, but listen to the audiobook at the same time and still be engaged, or like when I'm cooking and stuff. So I would say that that's probably also like slowing down my reading is a bookish goal, right? So yeah, I have those. A book that is on your TBR that you probably won't read this year. I'm just speaking from like the last TBR video I made or thought about. I guess I tried to make like 3 vlogs in December and none of them came to fruition. So I don't remember if I gave like an end of year TBR. I think I did. Yeah, I made that video. Winter in New York was on there. I'm probably not going to get to that this year, just because it's not really on my radar anymore, and I don't really have any investment in it right now. So that would probably be the one. A series I want to read this year is the Chestnut Springs series. I got Flawless. I haven't read it yet. I know there's 5 books in this series, and then Elsie Silver also has her other series. I don't remember. The Gold Rush Ranch, is that the name of it? Or the Gold Rush series, I think is what it's called. I know she has that series, and then she has another one that she's coming out with, and they all kind of go together. They're all in the same universe. So I would like to get started on her work to see if I really like it. I know it's very popular, so I really want to try those out. My auto-buy authors for this year are probably no different than the last couple years. Tessa Bailey is always an auto-buy for me. She is coming out with a new book that is in her sports romance series. And then Allie Hazelwood, like I said, I have all of her books thus far, and Deep End is coming out, so we will see if I end up liking that one and what else she comes out with. I don't know if there's any other anticipated releases she has right now or not. The only one I know about is Deep End. And then Tessa Bailey's, like I said. I'm really behind on Adrienne Young. I haven't read her stuff in a while, so I don't know that she's really an auto-buy anymore. If I end up rereading the books of hers I want to reread, I would probably put her in that list as well. Book to show adaptations I'm most excited about. I don't know that we're getting them yet, and I don't know if it's going to be a show or a movie. But 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo would be great if we got that this year, which I think we're supposed to. Don't know. And I don't know if Butcher and Blackbird is going to be a show or a movie. But again, I'm down and excited for that. I know It Happened One Summer is supposed to be a movie or a show. I would be excited for that as well. But I think that one's just coming out on that network that is only romances and does a lot of novel adaptations to movies, but it goes directly to that network. And I think it's on like Roku or something. Most anticipated sequel, Wild and Wrangled. I am so excited to read this. I still need to finish Lost and Lassoed, like I said. But I will say Lila Sage, probably an auto-buy author for me going forward. Add her to the list because I am obsessed with this series. And I cannot wait to see more from her. But I would say Wild and Wrangled kind of started in Swift and Saddled. So I'm interested to see how that goes, because there's some things that need to happen in order for that couple to get together that have not been explicitly stated in any of the books thus far. So it's got to come up in Lost and Lassoed. Bookish thinks I am leaving in 2024. I would say mass buying books. Now that I have a Kindle and I can do Kindle Unlimited and read a book before I buy it, physically read it before I buy it, and can kind of know, like, okay, I really want to get this series, but I don't want to buy a whole series, and in case I really like it, it's just right at my fingertips. I can read the next one, and then if I really, really, really like them, I can get them physically to have just permanently in my collection. That is going to help me a lot. I think also, I'm trying to think, like, bookish things. I would say probably just buying books because they're popular. I'm kind of guilty of that and end up not liking a lot of books. And potentially book of the month. That might be something that I cancel and either switch to another book subscription service that's along the same lines but has a different selection. Or, I don't know, I still have to get my hat from completing the reading challenge in 2024 because I didn't like any of the physical book choices they had this year. There's a few sequels I'm waiting to come out from books I have and did enjoy that I want in the Book of the Month edition. Hopefully they do them in a Book of the Month edition so that all my books match. So yeah, I'm kind of just waiting that out. I think by March I should be caught up, and if by then I'm still not loving any of the other choices they have, I think I'm just gonna cancel the service or only use it for audiobooks. I'm not really sure yet. I just want my hat. But yeah, I think that might be something I leave in 2024. The next thing is what to expect from this account in 2025. I am really trying to do every other video being a bookish video because I do have my makeup stuff. So I want to still feed that part of my audience, but also give you guys some more bookish stuff. I want to vlog more. Now that I work like a more scheduled 9 to 5, I can kind of do that. And then I would say that's probably it. I want to do more dedicated recommendation videos as well. So if you all want to leave me comments about what you want recommendations for, please do so. How have my reading tastes evolved? I would say I am definitely into books that are not so traumatic. Any books that I've read that have trigger warnings for like SA or R or abuse or just a bunch of other anything like that, I'm just not interested in. I've DNF'd a lot of books last year because there was just so much trauma dumping and big things that I was like, I do not enjoy this. I do not want this. Does not make me feel good, and I want my books to make me feel good. I'm not saying I'm not reading books that are dark, because dark romance definitely played more of a role in my evolving reading taste this year, but that comes with a very different tone to me. Like, some of the things that are considered dark for dark romance are not things that bother me versus things that are written in lit fic and thrillers. So I would have to say anything that I read that I just go, oof, like, if it makes me kind of go, okay, like, I'm probably gonna put the book down. Next is my booktube inspirations. I talk about them all the time. Mel reads, Book Roast, and Olivia reads Latte. I watch those 3 consistently. I think they're actually the only booktubers I'm subscribed to. I've been subscribed to other people, but I kind of like don't end up like falling off of their content and not enjoying stuff, or I'll see people like in my recommended and I'll watch their stuff and come back and leave and come back and leave. But those 3 are like my 3 that I trust their recommendations. Our reading tastes are similar. I enjoy their vlogs. Like, Liv's super long vlogs, I can watch the whole thing and sit and sprint with her or just like relate to some of the things she talks about. So I would definitely say those 3. I will say the only one is Mel, who like really enjoys romance. But her taste in romance and my taste in romance are very similar. So I would say those 3 for sure. And the last thing is something you want to say to somebody who wants to start a bookish account in 2025. I would say just start it. I know that seems so easy to say, But literally, once you post about it, you will realize there are so many people who share similar reading tastes as you or have totally different tastes but still like your content. I would say don't overthink it as well. I think I've overthought a lot of bookish content that I could have put up, and it ended up hurting me in the long run. So I think just going for it and not trying to be like everybody else. Read the books you want to read, even if no one else is reading them. No one else is reading, as far as I know, the Disney books I like, but I'm reading them and I love them. So I'm still going to talk about them. Being honest with your reviews also is super helpful. As long as you're honest, people don't care what you're reading. They just want to know that you're not making stuff up to get like free books, okay? And don't start an account if you're just doing it to get free books. Like, that is a few and far between thing happening. So don't rush that. But yeah, I think that is it for me. So like I said, this was Larry Reed's thing. I will tag her down below if you want to see her stuff. And I will tag all the people down below that I mentioned. But yeah, if you like this video, subscribe because there's going to be more bookish content coming. If you like makeup content as well, I do that too. And I will see you guys in the next one.